Hello and welcome to this edition of Talk Vietnam. There's an old saying by Publius Cyrus that goes, good health and good sense are two of life's greatest blessings. And while every one of us hopes for a healthy body and mind, not every one of us is blessed in such ways. For our guest today, his journey started at the mere age of 4 years old when a hole in his heart was discovered. And since then, down the line, he has been able to achieve great things, going on to be named in the Guinness World Records twice for his impeccable memory and also for his strength. He is Dr. Biswaroop Roy Chowdhury. He is a medical nutritionist, well known all over the world, and he is now continuing to inspire others with ways in order to change their lifestyles and to improve their health at the same time.
Dr. Biswaroop Roy Chowdhury was born in 1973 with a severe heart disease. He has been constantly researching medical and mental improvement methods. By practicing eating following special regime and using memory techniques, he was awarded 2 Guinness records for mental and physical records. His record was 198 push-ups in 1 minute, and a memory record that defeated German record holder Michael Bharatpathy. He has written over 25 books on mind and medicine. He invented the happiness meter, the smart pen, mnemonic pen, and founded the Memory Center in India. His books are translated into 18 languages such as Hindi, English, Marathi, Nepali, Bengali, and Telugu.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for joining us.
Thank you.
One of the things that a lot of our guests, and myself included, are very curious about is your journey. This journey from being, having quite a childhood that was with heart disease, and somehow overcoming that in order to be, named in the Guinness World Records. So, can you please share with us this journey? How did it begin? From the moment that you discovered from doctors that there was a hole in your heart.
Yeah, it was about 1978, right? So at the time, I was suffering from fever off and on. And then the doctor discovered there was a hole in the heart. And as the age progressed, the hole will become bigger. So that was the time there was a surgery, a major surgery. It is called major heart surgery. Although the heart, the hole was closed, but there was a lot of restriction. And that remained with me till the time I was in college.
When in your recovery did you discover that perhaps you can help yourself to train your memory or train your mind in order to help the rest of your body improve?
Yeah, interestingly, not in my school life. I was just an average, very, very hardworking student in my school life. So even in the college life, it was never happened. By the end of the college life, when I saw that all the study I've done, schooling and college, but there was nothing of that sort, that was the time I thought that I have to go beyond it. Yes. So that was the beginning. It was just one question which inspired me, that there are 2 kinds of students. One who study hard, even then get average marks. Other who with a small amount of study he is able to get first rank, second rank, very good marks. So why 2 are different? Right? So that question I really wanted to find an answer. So that was the journey. I cannot name any one book or any one incident, but it was this question which inspired me to find an answer, find a solution, and that's how the search began.
What did you do first, and how did this path to a solution begin?
I started with reading the books on mind, reading the books on memory. I understood one thing: whatever you want in life, first create that in your imagination, as if you've already achieved it. So the brain will attract those information, those knowledge, those resources, those people who can help us to take to that stage.
One of the techniques that you first took up in order to strengthen your mind power was training your memory.
Yeah.
Can you please tell us about this? Why did you think about memory training?
There are certain cells which never change. There are cells of the memory. They keep the recording of the past, right? And accordingly, they transfer that recording to the present. This means if you have some disease in the past, right, about 10 years back, 15 years back, the disease keeps on happening. For example, if there is a scratch, right, or some wound, even if the wound is healed, after many years, still there is you can see a scar is there, right?
Yes.
That is because of the memory cells, the brain cells. They keep the memory, they keep the recording. This means first we have to understand the memory. So it is the memory cells which defines your personality, which defines your illness, which defines your health. If you understand that, rest of the things can be controlled easily.
How did your kind of journey to being recognized as the Guinness World Records for memory begin? Because everyone's quite curious about that. It's quite an amazing feat.
For that, every day I used to practice about 8 hours or 10 hours for that record.
That's like being like a brain athlete.
Yeah, that is just to achieve a feat, right? But you need not to work so hard to strengthen your memory for our day-to-day routine things.
Yes.
For that, even 5 minutes of mental brain exercise, but make it lifelong practice. Like you brush your teeth every day. It's not that you brush for some time and then you forget.
Yes.
Similarly, mental muscles, the brain muscles, they need to get the feeding, and that feeding is when you do some visualization exercise.
Let's go back to kind of the first days when you were training, thinking about training your memory. How did that process begin? How difficult was that?
It was really enjoyable. So the first step, if anybody who is listening right now, they want to start like me, they remember one rule, that human brain is made in such a way, whatever you see, you remember that much more than whatever you hear.
Can you give us an example? Is that similar to kind of having like when people say having a photographic memory? Is that the same?
Yeah, you can call it a photographic memory. Okay, I'll give you one example. Do it like this.
Yes.
Now imagine that you're holding a bucket.
A bucket.
Now you're pouring some potato in the bucket, right? The bucket is full. And at the top of the potato you put a pen. At the top of the pen a cat is sitting. The cat is holding a cup, but inside the cup you see a ball of yellow color. Now open the ball. Inside the ball you see a book.
Now try again. Okay. I'm holding a bucket.
Yeah.
And inside the bucket there is where you are pouring some water.
Potato.
A potato. And then on the potatoes is a pen.
Yes.
And on the pen is a cat.
Yes.
And
cat is holding something.
A cat is holding a cup.
Okay. Now look inside the cup.
Inside the cup.
Can you see a ball?
Yes, a ball.
Black or white or yellow?
Yellow.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yes. So that just comes to show that my memory is not really good. I think I was I was trying to picture it, but at the same time I was kind of looking at you and kind of picturing you.
You're trying to understand the whole thing rather than focusing on the part of it, right?
Yes.
So, but when you keep on doing for some time, the brain is like a muscle. When you use the muscle, it becomes stronger, right? After some time, it will be automatic. Whenever you hear something, automatically there is an image.
Yes.
Right? It is not that you have to do it with the consciousness. It happens on its own.
Now, in his visit to Vietnam this time, Dr. Chowdhury has held a workshop in order to work with young Vietnamese in the ability to maximize their brain power, sharing his experience in order to help them apply these methods in their daily life, work, and study. We'll take a look at one of these sessions in the following.
69 79 84
This is not the first time Dr. Chowdhury has held a conference in Vietnam to share his knowledge on how to strengthen the ability of one's brain to improve his memory. In late 2016, Dr. Chowdhury came to Vietnam to share how to apply this technique as a useful tool for young students learning English. His method focuses on using visual techniques to memorize vocabulary faster and more effectively.
Em thì có tham gia 1-2 khóa hội thảo như thế này về cải thiện trí nhớ của mình, nhưng mà đa số là sẽ là việc cải thiện trí nhớ, ghi nhớ về những cái công việc bên ngoài thôi ạ. Còn để mà có một phương pháp siêu trí nhớ về học tập tiếng Anh thì đây là lần đầu tiên em tham gia. Em nghĩ là sau cái buổi gặp mặt thầy hôm nay ạ, thì em về em sẽ thay đổi cái phương pháp học tập tiếng Anh của mình, và chắc chắn là sẽ thay đổi cái cách mà em ghi nhớ tiếng Anh. Thay vì việc là chỉ viết ra giấy để ghi nhớ thôi, thì bây giờ em sẽ gắn nó với các hình ảnh hoặc âm thanh để ghi nhớ nó tốt hơn ấy ạ.
Thông thường thì mình thấy rằng để mà ghi nhớ một cái từ ngữ bằng tiếng Anh thì rất là khó, bởi vì là não mình thường là không thân thiện với cái từ ngữ, và khi mà mình liên kết nó với hình ảnh thì mình lại nhớ rất là lâu.
He has been attempting to help students memorize better with less effort. Besides using the techniques he's shared, Dr. Chowdhury also invented a special pen called the mnemonic pen. According to Dr. Biswaroop, the human brain is like a box containing images and sound files. Based on this principle, he provides an English vocabulary learning method called PMS, or Person Meaning System, also known as the semantic system. This method encourages learners to analyze words, phrases, and texts into familiar images to themselves so they can remember the information better.
How did the brain kind of power strengthening and helping your memory help you in your life and in your health?
First step is building your imaginary brain, where your brain knows what is the power of imagination, what is the power of visualization. Second step is, now you think what you want in your life. You want to become fat, you want to become thin, you want to build your muscles, you want to lose some weight, or you want to cure a disease, right? You have to think what you want in life. At that time, my problem was a hole in the heart. Although I recovered from it through the surgery, but there was a complication of surgery itself. So I wanted to recover from that. So I made a mental picture that if in future I could do exercise, I could work, and I could have a same physique like any other person without any limitation, how it will look, what will be my behavior, how I will walk, how I will breathe, how I will feel, right? So I made a clear mental picture of that. And once you make a mental picture like that, how to achieve that? Brain will attract those knowledge. I started getting interested in reading those kind of books. I started modifying my behavior. It started with changing my food habit. So I changed drastically how I eat. But that knowledge, what to eat, also is a matter of those feedback from the brain, right? But how the brain gives feedback? Only when the brain knows what you want in reality. How the brain knows what you want in reality? When you remind the brain through the mental picture of your expected future. So now the brain will attract those information, those food, which can help you lead there, right? At the same time, it will hide those things which may be an obstruction in achieving that goal. For example, some people, some friend around who will pursue, who will force me to have a drink with them. So somehow brain will switch off an interest in them. If I see them around, I will not find them interesting anymore. Even they will not find me interesting anymore. So after some time, we will be dissociating.
Yes, that gives a kind of a literal meaning to when someone says, you can do it if you just put your mind to it.
Of course, of course.
Yes.
It is a mental reminder on daily basis. We should be able to remember what we really want in life. But on the contrary, people, they think of something which they don't want.
Yes.
I don't want to be fat. So if I keep on thinking I don't want to be fat, so in reality I'm thinking about fat.
True.
So my brain will pick up those things which can make me fat.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so instead of thinking about what you don't want in life, you should focus on what you do want.
What we want, that is more important. What we don't want, there may be thousands of things. What you want can be only one or two things or few things in your hand.
Understanding kind of the characteristic or the anatomy of the brain can also help to maximize brain power. Can you please give us an example of this, of how understanding the structure of the brain can help one to maximize one's power?
The structure is very simple. One is the right part, the creative brain. One is the left part, the logical brain. The difference is logical, what you experience on its own, brain save in logical brain. What you imagine as you are doing right now, brain save in creative brain, right part. So every day we have to feed both the brains, right? So this means every day we have to do something creative, something imaginative, something colorful, and that means our creative brain is being giving some feeding, food for the brain.
Yes.
Right, and every day we are doing the routine things, like every day you interview someone. So this is feeding in the left brain. So already we are feeding the left brain for all of us, because every day we do something. For example,
logical.
Something for the cameraman. Every day is doing that work. So he's feeding the left brain. The problem is we don't feed the right brain. And if you are able to feed the right brain, right, by doing something creative, it is a balance.
Yes.
This means you will not be old quicker. You will remain young longer, and your brain is young, you are young. They were diabetic and they are following all the doctors.
According to Dr. Chowdhury, promoting brain power not only supports in work and study, but can also help one to change one's eating habits to treat diseases. Dr. Chowdhury is not just a brain trainer. He is also a specialist and researcher in providing solutions for the treatment of chronic diseases caused by modern lifestyle, such as diabetes, cancer, migraines, constipation, and obesity. And he does so using only natural methods, such as the whole food, plant-based diet. His education included the China study at Cornell University in the United States and the diabetes specialist certificate by the Cleveland Clinic in the United States. His training programs have helped many people succeed in treating many types of illnesses, including diabetes, by natural methods. So as we spoke earlier, we talked a little bit about nutrition and how that can contribute to kind of helping people start on this path of changing their daily lifestyle and helping their health. And you are one of the proponents of a plant-based diet. And this plant-based diet is inspired by a man called Dr. T. Colin Campbell. Can you please share with us this diet?
So human body is made in such a way that we are able to metabolize, we are able to utilize the food better if it comes from the plant source, right? A Nobel Prize winning science 1999, it says in every plant-based food in its raw state there is an address signal inside the fruit, inside the food, and that address signal matches with, decides in which organ it will go, in which cell it will go, what role it will play. The address coding in each of the plant-based food is in a language which human body understands.
So it goes back to you saying that plants are more kind of plant-based food or more compatible with the human body. Once it reaches the human body, parts of the fruits, what is good about it, what is good about the vegetable that you're eating will directly go to where it is needed most.
Yes, absolutely right.
Whole food plant-based diet is a diet based on foods derived from plants, including vegetables, whole grains, legumes and fruits, but with few or no animal products. This diet was advocated by Dr. Campbell, an American biochemist and nutritionist who specializes in the effect of nutrition on long-term health.
Economically developed countries.
He is the co-author of the best-selling book, The China Study, Startling Implications for Diet, Weight Loss and Long-Term Health. He is featured in several documentaries, including the blockbuster Forks Over Knives, Eating You Alive and others.
What caused most diseases? People who were raised in Japan never had heart disease.
Forks Over Knives.
Nutrition actually has a much stronger effect on our health than what I think we ever realized. We can use food now, the right kind of food, and that's whole plant-based. That kind of food has a tremendous ability not only to prevent future diseases, but also to treat existing disease.
The whole food plant-based diet was applied by many people, including former US President Bill Clinton. As a supporter of this method, Dr. Biswaroop Chowdhury has introduced them to his students and patients in Vietnam and India and seen positive feedbacks. The whole food plant-based diet is believed to not only bring health benefits, but many people who live on a plant-based diet think it can be cheaper and have less of an impact on the environment.
If someone wanted to embark on this journey to make their diet more plant-based, how would they do it?
The first impression will be it is really difficult. It seems to be, but I'll give you my example. My every day of my life, I had a lot of dairy products, and every meal there should be some animal, either egg or fish or something. But it took only one decision, right? That I have to stop that. So that one decision, my brain switched it off, and then I pursued it for 21 days. I'll not do it.
Yes.
And on 22nd day, when I see like there is a fish or an egg, so I don't feel like eating. Second is social pressure, the people around it. That is something really difficult. Even now I'm struggling with it. Whenever we go in a party, whenever we go in a family, right, always they see that this person is different from rest of the world. So, but then what happens when they see this behavior again and again, they are used to this behavior.
That's true.
Then they start offering you the fruits or vegetable or whatever you intend them to offer.
What were some of the first benefits that you saw in your health that were kind of very apparent?
The immediate benefit, for example, if you start doing from now, within 24 hours, the first benefit, this means I'm assuming that you started with this and you stopped the animal food.
Yes.
Within the first 24 hours, all the digestive problem will be vanished. Within the first week, blood sugar become normal. The blood pressure become normal. That means you'll feel more energetic. Within a month's time, 1 month, the transition is appropriate to body weight. Somebody is thin will become fat. Somebody is fat will become thin. Means the body will balance within 1 month. Within 3 months, like me, the heart condition, you'll find improvement in that. Means now you can run better. Now you'll not get tired easily.
For example, someone who's been used to eating meat for so many years, if they stop all of a sudden, would that, have an impact on their health?
The moment you do it, the brain will remain confused in the first day, second day, third day, fourth day. What happened? Where is the meat? Where is the animal food? Which the brain is used to, the body is used to for so long, many, many years. Brain remain through some difficulties, some symptoms, like you'll feel loss of energy.
Yes.
You'll feel tired.
Exactly.
You'll feel craving. You will feel discomfort. You have to go through it. So when you are going through it for 21 days, the brain will stop giving you those bad signals.
And obviously there must be kind of a method in how to have this plant-based diet. It's not only about eating just veggies or eating just fruits, right? You have to have some, is there a science behind this plant-based diet?
So decide a weight you want to be, right? Let's say in your case you want to remain 50. Okay. So 50 is a magic number. Now 50 into 20, 20, right? 50 into 20, 20. What it becomes? About 2, 10, 1000. 1000 grams of plant you have to eat one day.
Wow.
This means about 1 kg.
So you multiply your weight, your body weight with 20.
With 20. And
Okay.
that many grams of plants, plant origin food, you have to
Yes.
eat every day. While finishing 1 kg, you can carry on with the rest of the things which you conventionally eat. Maybe coffee, maybe animal food, maybe whatever you want.
That's true.
Right? So, but this 1 kg is not a food, it's food as medicine. It will adjust every parameter of the body, including blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, body weight, body temperature, body number of hormones. It will readjust, it will balance.
Dr. Biswaroop Roy Chowdhury is also known by many as an expert in helping diabetes patients. He trained in postgraduate studies in diabetes education in Belgium, while also being certified by the Cleveland Clinic in the United States in diabetes. Arriving in Vietnam 3 years ago, Dr. Chowdhury collaborated with the Amino Consultant Healthcare Center under the Research Institute of Complementary Health Science to organize a program called 72 Hours Diabetes Cure Tour.
According to the International Diabetes Federation or IDF, There were around 5.3 million cases of diabetes in Vietnam in 2015, putting Vietnam among the top 10 countries in the world in terms of diabetes prevalence. Based on the 72-hour Cure Diabetes Type 1 and 2 book of Dr. Chowdhury, the 70-second diabetes cure tour was developed by Dr. Julia Nguyen in 2015 and has brought tremendous changes in the life of thousands of participants. Many people from different backgrounds have joined the 72-hour tour, including people working in the medical industry.
Chương trình này thì tôi đã tham gia tích cực và kết quả là vượt quá sự mong đợi của tôi. Ngày đầu tiên buổi sáng sớm tôi đo chức ăn là 254, ngày hôm qua là 255 thì sáng hôm nay là 196. Và ngay tối hôm qua thì nó cũng xuống còn 163.
The concept of whole plant-based diet is using only food that come from the plant, and it will be served in the same form without cooking it. A menu with full of fresh fruit is considered as a diabetes-friendly diet.
Cái đậu này là mình phải ngâm qua 4 tiếng, rồi sau đó cái đậu xanh này là coi như là mình ngâm 8 tiếng, mình không phải luộc khắp gì hết. Tại vì mình ăn như thế này thì nó đủ dinh dưỡng và nó rất là tốt.
Joining the program as a patient and witnessing its effectiveness for his health, Hồ Thanh Hóa wished to expand the program so more people can access the treatment. He was seriously ill and could not live without medicine, but thanks to the whole plant-based diet by Dr. Chowdhury, he is now living healthy.
Chính là thay lời cảm ơn thì tôi và chồng tôi cũng đã tổ chức đứng ra đăng cai và tổ chức một cái lớp cho nơi mà tôi công tác lâu năm đấy, ở trên Đắk Lắk. Đấy, khoảng 130 người bệnh nhân tiểu đường và nhiều bệnh khác, nhiều bệnh gút, rồi những người bị xơ vữa mạch vành rồi các giáp, thì hiện nay những người đấy đa số là người ta kết quả rất tốt. Nếu như người ta tuân thủ chuyện ăn uống theo phương pháp này thì người ta tiến triển tốt và rất phấn khởi. Thì cái đấy là cái điều mà tôi đã gửi lời cảm ơn đến thầy Vi.
Tôi rất là cảm động, tại vì giống như thầy cứu lại ông xã tôi lần thứ hai. Tại vì tôi tuyệt vọng không thể nào chữa hết cho bệnh cho chồng, nhưng mà đến giờ thì tôi rất cảm ơn.
By joining the 72-hour diabetes cure tour, these patients have improved their health greatly, which enables them to enjoy and contribute such good things to our life.
So in our Talk Vietnam studio today, we're also very lucky to have an honored guest at the Bimino Healthcare Consultant Center. Her name is Nguyễn Hoàng Anh. She's also known as Julia Nguyen, and she is one of the person who's been able to take Dr. Chowdhury and formulate together with him a program here in Vietnam for diabetes patients and those hoping to change their lifestyles for better health. So let's welcome Ms. Nguyễn Hoàng Anh. Em cảm ơn chị Hoàng Anh đã tham gia chương trình ngày hôm nay ạ. Vì sao chị đã biết đến thầy bác sĩ Chowdhury ạ?
Cách đây 4 năm tôi có gặp được tiến sĩ Biswaroop ở tại một cái buổi trao kỷ lục, bởi vì ông là tổng giám đốc tổ chức kỷ lục châu Á. Và khi tìm hiểu và tôi hiểu được cái lợi ích của phương pháp này thì tôi quyết định là qua Ấn Độ để học. Và sau khi học thì tôi thấy rằng là nó rất là giá trị và nó mang đến cái lợi ích cho mọi người. Thì tôi bắt đầu đưa cái chương trình đầu tiên vào Việt Nam vào tháng 5 2014.
Trong thời gian đó chị đã học được những gì và bản thân chị đã thực hành những gì chị đã học như thế nào đối với cuộc sống của chị?
Trước kia tôi cũng là một người rất là nhiều bệnh, viêm xoang, đau dạ dày, rồi nói chung là những cái bệnh rất là phổ biến của mọi người. Thì khi tôi áp dụng theo cái phương pháp này và những cái gì mà do tiến sĩ Biswaroop chia sẻ, chỉ sau khoảng 3 tháng áp dụng theo cái phương pháp này thì tôi thấy hầu như những cái bệnh của tôi nó hết. Và cái thứ hai nữa là trong quá trình tôi tổ chức những cái chương trình đào tạo của tiến sĩ ở tại Việt Nam thì cái phản hồi của học viên, ví dụ như họ gửi về những cái email cho chúng tôi là họ những cái bệnh họ được chữa khỏi hoặc là họ có thể giảm cân một cách rất là an toàn và họ luôn cảm thấy tràn đầy năng lượng. Thì chính vì những cái lợi ích của cái chương trình đó thì nó đã giúp cho tôi hiểu được rằng là cái phương pháp này nó không phải chỉ đơn thuần là lý thuyết và có thể áp dụng được cho tất cả mọi người. Và chính vì cái điều đó thì tôi tiếp tục nghiên cứu, thậm chí là tôi tìm hiểu cả rất là nhiều những cái kiến thức của những cái phương pháp khác để mình có cái sự đối chiếu, cái sự so sánh, và mình lấy những cái ứng dụng nào mà nó tốt nhất để có thể phù hợp với lại văn hóa và thói quen của người Việt Nam.
What did you think about conducting a course in Vietnam?
We have thousands of patients who have been treated, who have been trained, not just for themselves. We have certified diabetes educators. First they became patient, they got cured, then they got the training, then even they are trained in a way that independently they can handle the patient. So that has already started in Vietnam as it is there in India.
Trong tháng 11 vừa qua thì chúng tôi đã tổ chức tốt nghiệp khóa đầu tiên, khoảng 30 thành viên. Thì trong 30 thành viên đó có những người là bệnh nhân tiểu đường, có những người cũng không phải là bệnh nhân tiểu đường nhưng họ có một cái đam mê về sức khỏe và mong muốn đi giúp người. Mọi người thì chúng tôi trang bị thêm cho họ những kiến thức chuyên sâu hơn, rồi những cái công cụ để họ có thể đi giúp những người khác. Ví dụ như là đơn thuần chỉ là tư vấn thay đổi cái cách ăn uống, hoặc là có những cái suy nghĩ tích cực và những cái tập thể dục hàng ngày, thì những cái người đó họ rất là cần một cái sự động viên, đồng hành. Thì chúng tôi nghĩ rằng nếu chúng tôi có càng nhiều những cái chuyên viên này thì cái việc lan tỏa nó sẽ càng nhanh hơn, và đó là điều chúng tôi rất là mong muốn.
Trương Thị Bạch Liên was diagnosed to have diabetes in 2004. 4 years later, she had a heart attack, which also led to her paralysis. The old woman never thought that her condition could be as good as it is now, when she can even go for shopping by herself. Liên used to have to take 16 pills per day for her treatment, but thanks to the whole food plant-based diet, her condition has improved significantly.
Sau cái hành trình đó thì khi thầy bỏ cái thuốc huyết áp á, là áp huyết tôi ổn định 12/7. Cho tới bây giờ là 3-4 tháng sau tôi đo cũng vậy. Dần dần trong vòng 6 tháng là phải nói rằng cái đường huyết nó ổn định. Nhưng mà cái hay á, là mình kiên trì mình ăn thì dần dần cái cơ thể mình làm như thanh lọc, mình phục hồi. Tôi cảm thấy tôi có một trái tim khỏe, tôi có một cái đầu tỉnh táo.
When Lương Đức Sơn, a businessman, learned about the 72-hour diabetes cure tour by Dr. Chowdhury, he was seriously ill that he could not even walk downstairs. He attended the event, but with little belief it would make a difference. But the 71-hour tour has completely changed his life.
Sức khỏe rất là tốt. Ví dụ như tôi có thể đi công tác, đi làm việc ở dưới quận 1, cách đây khoảng 12 cây số. Nếu mà có xe thì tôi đi xe về, mà không là tự về. Không sao hết ha, rất là bình thường. Xong rồi nếu mà từ sân bay về đây khoảng 5 cây số xuống thì hồi xưa là mình phải đón xe về, nhưng mà thấy có vẻ như không cần thiết lắm, nên mình chạy bộ về nhà luôn. Những cái thói quen vận động đó nó làm cho mình biết được rằng là mình đã rất là khỏe.
Those are two of many diabetes patients that received positive results after joining Dr. Chowdhury's 72-hour diabetes cure tour.
Trước đây đó thì nói chung là tôi có nhiều cái căn bệnh lắm.
Cái cơn đau là không thể nào mà chấm dứt được.
Ăn uống thanh lọc cơ thể, rồi từ đó về tôi duy trì. Thì ngày hôm nay cái đường huyết, tất cả những cái căn bệnh của tôi là nó sạch hết. Rất là lạc quan. Và cứ hàng ngày cứ tập thể dục, rồi phơi nắng, rồi trồng rau.
Until now, 16 diabetes cure tours have been held with the participation of about 1,000 patients. The whole food plant-based diet by Dr. Chowdhury has not only brought positive impacts to many diabetes patients. For them, this is a new way of living.
We just watched in this previous report, we learned about the 72-hour program in order, a diabetes tour in order to cure diabetes. Tell us a little bit about, what is the main purpose of this program, and what is the science behind it?
the first thing, the main purpose, which I would like to share through this channel, diabetes is not a disease. It just means high level of sugar in the blood. That is called diabetes. And if it is so, this can be corrected within 24 hours. Sugar is high in the blood. You make it low, diabetes is gone. But in our diabetes tour, we take 3 days, because not just our goal is to make the sugar level, correct the sugar level, we have to make them understand why it happened and how to keep it at a correct level. And they understand the science behind this whole thing, the science of the diabetes, science of the body, science of the food, and how the food interact with the body. Yeah. So once they understand it, I want to equip them that once they go back home, they should not be dependent on any doctor. They should not be dependent on our team or BMO team. They should be on their own.
How is it teaching in Vietnam, alongside other places that you visited? I know you've been to many other places in the world.
I see that here the students, they are craving for new knowledge, right? So they are investing more in learning new things. Right? In other countries, the people of the similar age group, they are more focused towards spending money in buying something which are in physical nature. But here the trend is they buy something which is a kind of education, which can enhance investment. Right? Even I've seen people, students, they borrow money to learn. So that is something amazing which I see here. That's something inspiring. That compels me and that motivates me to spend more time in Vietnam in comparison to any other country or any other place.
Em có được biết rằng là thầy thì sử dụng những cái phương pháp của thầy không những là chỉ để chữa bệnh tiểu đường mà còn để có thể phát triển và giúp người cải thiện cuộc sống cũng như là sức khỏe, cũng như là nói đến những cái bệnh khác nữa. Thì trong tương lai trung tâm mình có dự án hay có chương trình để mời thầy quay lại và dạy về những cái mảng khác không ạ?
Một cái điều mà chúng tôi rất là trân trọng và quý mến tiến sĩ Biswaroop đó là ông dành rất là nhiều thời gian cho Việt Nam. Mục tiêu của chúng tôi là làm sao mà trong một cái thời gian sớm nhất có thể giúp được càng nhiều người càng tốt để thay đổi lối sống và chữa được những cái bệnh về mãn tính như là tiểu đường, huyết áp, tim mạch ví dụ vậy. Thì trong thời gian tới thì chúng tôi cũng có một cái chương trình thứ hai sẽ triển khai, đó là tôi gọi nó là Be Young Again, có nghĩa là tìm lại tuổi thanh xuân. Mục tiêu của chương trình thì thật ra nó cũng giúp cho người ta có một cái sự thay đổi tích cực về tư duy, về cách ăn uống cũng như là lối sống, nhưng mà nó không thiên quá vào vấn đề là chữa bệnh, bởi vì chữa bệnh thì chúng tôi đã có chương trình 72 giờ rồi, còn chương trình này là để làm sao gần như là giúp mọi người ngăn ngừa bệnh cũng như là thay đổi được cái lối sống.
Cảm ơn chị Hoàng Anh rất nhiều đã dành thời gian đến với chương trình, và tôi cũng muốn gửi đến chị lời cảm ơn đã mang đến cho Việt Nam cũng như những học viên ở Việt Nam những cái chương trình rất là thú vị của thầy. Xin cảm ơn chị. I understand that you are now associated with the Asia Book of Records. Tell us about this.
I'm the chief editor of Asia Book of Records. So one of my job is to find the best of Asia and recognize as a Asia Book of Records. So that way I get an opportunity to meet some people who have done extraordinary work in their life, and I get inspired by talking to them, by knowing about them, and then those stories I try to share with the people around me so that they also get inspired that we can do wonderful things in our life.
Yes, wonderful. Tell us about some of the examples of the amazing people that you've met. Obviously, these are people who've kind of excelled in one kind of particular task or particular feat.
Yeah, among many of the things, I will name only first one person. She has memorized the entire dictionary.
Wow.
Entire dictionary, Oxford Dictionary.
Oxford Dictionary.
Yeah. Incidentally, she is my wife. So.
Oh, wow! That's amazing. The story of your wife, and obviously all of the amazing people you've met. You are obviously a power couple in memory.
So these kind of achievements are there, that a common man with a common skill, but with extraordinary understanding about the brain, can achieve something which seems to be extraordinary for the rest of the world. But the simple thing is that anybody can duplicate it once they apply the brain in the same manner as somebody else has done.
Do you think in the future you'll kind of try to maybe conquer another record?
In my case?
Yes.
Yeah, in my case, rather than conquering any record, I would like that my students, I should be called as a teacher with maximum number of record holder as a student.
Yes.
Yeah. That is my aim.
That's a new record to aim to have the most number of students with records.
Yeah, or most number of diabetes patient who got recovered from diabetes.
Yes, who was able to cure themselves within 72 hours.
Empowering people so that they can take care of themselves.
Yes, wonderful, wonderful goal. And I hope you the best of luck in achieving that goal. And thank you so much for joining us here on Talk Vietnam, for coming to Vietnam to share your advice. And we hope to welcome you back many more times.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Thank you very much, Doctor. And that wraps up this edition of Talk Vietnam with Dr. Chowdhury on ways in order to improve your mind and your body. We hope you've been inspired in order to take the initial steps in your lifestyle in order to improve your health and your daily life. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you more next time here on Talk Vietnam. Goodbye for now.